In a world where comic book movies aren't bringing in what they used to at the box office,
Black Girl Magic!
Can Marvel and DC finally change the audience's perception? Will the upcoming slate of comic book movies bring audiences back to theaters?
I need you to trust me. One last time.
Or will the hype fade away, just like Tony Stark in Endgame? In this episode, Jonathan from Comic Book Cinema is joined by a panel of guests to break down the future of comic book movies, from 2026 to 2027, and even the films with no release dates yet. Which studio will prevail? Will either studio prevail?
Comic Book Cinema!
It's really crazy to me. First of all, I just want to say that in the next 2 years, we're only going to get 3 Marvel movies. In 2027, we're only going to get 1 Marvel movie, but we'll get to that later. First, I want to start off with June of next year, 2026, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. What does everybody feel as far as excitement level about Supergirl?
I don't think it's a good start for the DCEU personally. I don't think they should have hit the ground running with that film. They should have, done the big hitters like Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, get the big guys rolling first before you start bringing in these side characters. I've never read Supergirl, so I'm not overly excited for it personally. But
I agree, definitely do. I think like Green Lantern maybe should have been like something to go with next, do something different, But at the same time, I think the one rebuttal that if you call it that, the rebuttal I have, James Gunn is good with lesser known characters. That's like something that I think he is very well with. Not that Supergirl's like super, lesser known, but she is, she's not a Green Lantern, right? In film, you know what I mean? She's not a Superman. She's not a Batman. She's not like one of the top that everybody's super, super excited for. But I do think James Gunn does have the ability to maybe turn that around and have a little bit more excitement than we think. And I just want to say that's coming from someone who, myself, I'm not a James Gunn fan, but I give kudos where kudos is due.
I don't know where you guys line up as far as your comic book loyalties, but if you look up here, this is something that's going to change with my setup. But all of this is Batman stuff. The crowning jewel here in the center is the Batman animated series signed to me by Kevin Conroy, which is my Batman prior to his passing. So I'm with Generation Offended on this, but I can understand where Chassie's coming from. But I think if there was a level of excitement, if people were still excited about comic book films, you could get away with doing some of these more obscure, these more side characters. But since you're trying to revitalize people's excitement in it, probably going for a Green Lantern or a Wonder Woman or a Batman, as redundant as it's starting to get, might be better. Supergirl, don't really care for it. Millie Alcock, I believe, is the actress. Not a fan of hers. But Clayface, I am excited about Clayface. That seems like that's going to be cool.
And we'll get to that. Yeah. So this is my thoughts on James Gunn and Supergirl. I feel like a lot of times in our current day society, people tend to get tribalistic. If you're a Republican, then you cannot like this movie. Or if you're a Democrat, you cannot like. Yep. I feel like a lot of people, and maybe some people just based solely off of political views, do not like James Gunn. And I don't think that's right. Just strictly from a directorial standpoint, I got to say, and this isn't popular in all of my circles and all of some of the other circles, but everything James Gunn has given us as a fandom, I have not only liked, but mostly loved, with the exception of Guardians 2 and Peacemaker Season 2. I only say that about Peacemaker because I felt like that was the first time ever where James Gunn either made the conscious decision to start going a little political, let's throw a couple naked dudes in this Peacemaker party, or maybe he was getting pressured from the studio. I don't know why that decision was made, but it just seemed like one of those things that us as a fandom are used to seeing, and we're just kind of waiting to get, offended about something. And that was just thrown in there, which I didn't love that. But overall, I still like Peacemaker as a whole. But once again, James Gunn, even the Superman movie, I didn't love the new Superman James Gunn movie, but I thought it was really solid though.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, when we're talking about Supergirl, I was a lot more excited about Supergirl until I saw her pop up at the end of Superman. Because they're going for this like angsty teenager, I'm cursing, I'm drinking liquor. To me, that didn't really feel like Supergirl because I like Helen Slater Supergirl. That's what I grew up with. She's supposed to be kind of, similar to Superman in a lot of ways. So I am definitely a lot less excited after seeing her pop up in that film.
Well, if you allow me to interject, we're currently trying to see, we're seeing this trend, right? Especially with Disney, where Disney is taking older characters or some of their older films and they're reimagining them to appeal to a new generation of fans. You know, we saw that with Snow White, we saw that Lilo and Stitch. Most popular as of recently is Predator Badlands and Alien Earth. But when they're doing that, they're not really paying attention to the fan base that made those characters what they are to this day. So when you bring up, you know, Supergirl, Millie Alcock's Supergirl, they're at the end of Superman, and she's this young, angsty, she's drunk, she's belligerent. That's not appealing to the 30-plus-year-olds in the crowd who were the people that grew up reading those comic books and watching those old shows. That's appealing to the 20-something-year-olds that are in college and can relate to that humor. And I don't like that direction at all.
It is in the comics, though, for anybody that didn't know that. Almost panel for panel, I believe there's a kind of like movements and the way that she did. I think that's what James Gunn based it on. I don't think it's a whole thing. I think it's just a portion of one comic, but forgive me, I can't speak on it 100%. But they did pull that from the comics. So there is some comic accuracy to that, but I still agree. I agree with both of your points 100%.
But I will say this, at least they're not setting her up to be a typical, what we're all tired of, girl boss character.
Yeah.
Her being an angsty teen that's drunk, going to Red Sun planets just so she can get drunk. That almost starts her in a interesting direction in some ways because there's a chance for redemption later on down the road.
Yeah,
so
she's already flawed. Yeah.
Going back to your point about Peacemaker season 2, Jonathan, I think Peacemaker season 2 is what James Gunn will do to the rest of the DCU. I think that was like him with his, he had no restrictions. It was all him. He was doing whatever he wanted to do. And you got, well, you said it got a little political. I mean, they went to a Nazi world and said that it wasn't different from ours, which was pretty insane.
Wild.
It's very interesting to me that James Gunn is so enthralled with Nazis because we're starting to see that pop up more and more in a lot of his projects. Now we're starting to see the word Nazi gets thrown around a lot in today's political climate. Honestly, way too much.
Just come look at my comment section.
Right. Okay, you want to go to Nazi world, that's fine. But then you start making Adebayo say things like, oh, well, our world's not that different. Are you kidding me? Like, our world's not that different than a world where a black woman's getting chased down the street.
It was also like they showed it to be like this perfect, like crimeless world as well. Like when they went into it, it's like, it's awesome here. Wow. Yeah. It's like this.
Honestly, there were a lot of inconsistencies in that show. And then that was one thing they don't really think about these things, I guess, before they do them. You know, another issue that I had was like Rick Flag Sr. out of nowhere was just like this villain. I mean, I understand that after the death of your son, you would probably be, not very happy. But to me, that didn't really make sense narratively for that character. But, I guess we'll see where it goes. July the 31st, 2026, we have Spider-Man Brand New Day from a Spider-Man that I didn't initially think would be my favorite all-time, like overall Peter Parker and Spider-Man. But I got to say, I really love Tom Holland in this role.
Yeah, Garfield is still my number one. Man, the Maguire. I ask this conversation whenever I'm doing like interviews, whether it be on my podcast or I do interviews for cons and stuff. And I always ask like, who's your ultimate Spider-Man in film? Toby, Andrew, or Tom. And there's a decent mix in my experience. But for me, I think I got to go with Garfield. But I also agree with you, Jonathan. Like Tom has grown on me like crazy. I'll take it from, I can't remember who said this. Forgive me if you're watching this. But in one of the questions that I asked somebody else, they said the reason that they choose Tom is because of how we were introduced to him in the MCU. He's just like a little kid. Yeah. He's like the little Spider-Man. Like we haven't really got that story, like showcasing him that way. And that spoke to me. I was like, you know what? Maybe that's what I like about it too. Like he's really is just a young kid Spider-Man. And now we're going to see him go into his college years and all of that. So maybe we'll get more of that mixture of like what other people want, which is more of like Toby's age, Andrew's age a little bit later, like see that college aspect of him. And now also him, nobody knows him. He's on his own. So he's making suits on his own. So we're going to see that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man as I think what's coming up. And I'm feeling that. I'm looking forward to that aspect of it with Tom.
I'm not excited for another Spider-Man film. I mean, I'm not trying to be a or anything. It's just kind of run its course at this point. I mean, he's had 3 films in this universe. I'm open to seeing a 4th film. I thought the 3 that we've gotten before were decent. They were definitely better compared to a lot, and I mean a lot of the MC entries. But I'm at the point, and as a comic book fan, I'm just wore out by all this stuff. So when someone says, "Are you excited? Are you looking forward to this?" No, because it's pretty much routine at this point. It's habit. I'm not going to get excited by routine. So yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there to criticize it and talk about whatever. But yeah, that's really my thoughts on it.
I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so out of all the MCU stuff that could come out, Spider-Man's like the only thing I have even a slightest inkling of hope for at this point. Supposedly the lineup is Mr. Negative and the Hulk are also supposed to be in it. Spider-Man versus the Hulk.
And John Bernthal's Punisher as well.
The Punisher too,
Right.
and Scorpion too.
I think my big fear is overloading it, like, okay, so you're going to have the Punisher, Daredevil,
and Tombstone,
and Tombstone and all these characters in it, and the Hulk. It's like,
and the Hulk,
maybe just do Spider-Man fighting like 3 bad guys. I don't know. You got to set up these bad guys a bit more, get the Sinister Six involved. Like, they haven't really had that. They did it a bit with the last one, but it was like alternate dimensions. They haven't done it really since Garfield, where they try to line up all these villains to create the Sinister Six, which in my mind should be the thing. Yeah, they teased it.
Big group movies would never work. I just I don't think that's possible. Having that many characters on screen at the same time. It's just
directing too, man. How they handle all those characters,
Yes, and you brought up Generation Offended. You brought up the most recent Spider-Man outing, which I thought was done really well. That's one of those films. You are right. When you bring in that many characters, you have to have a reason for those characters popping up on the screen. And the way they handled those previous arcs from previous Spider-Man films and brought them all together and kind of gave them all perfect little conclusions, in my mind at least, where they tied a bow on everything. So if they bring all these characters in and have a purpose for them being there and not just hey guys, what's up? I'm John Bernthal's Punisher. I'll see you later. Let me kill a few people.
Yeah. Well, I think with like the Avengers, everyone had their own movies, right? So when they were all introduced in the Avengers, there was a lot more setup. I think they did it essentially with the second Amazing Spider-Man film, where they tried to push in the Rhino, Green Goblin, Electro. Like, it just got a little bit much because you don't have enough running to start with. You need a bit more material, you need a bit more backstory. So I think, having too many characters in a film at once can be a bit much.
It can be if they're not written well and there's not a reason for them being there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
September 11th. Interesting choice for a date for release there, but Clayface is coming out. This is a project that I think a lot of us really like compared to some of these other comic book movie films that are on the horizon. We don't really know that much at all about this movie. From what we have heard, it's a body horror film. It's going to be very R-rated. It's another one of those interesting James Gunn choices to start your universe with Creature Commandos, Supergirl, Clayface, and even before they were going to start with The Authority. And it's a bold direction. But this film, I think, is probably the exception.
Is it a film or is it a series?
It's a movie, but my biggest question is, will this be connected to the DCU or will this be an Elseworlds film?
I think they go Elseworlds here. And I don't know how you guys feel about horror. I sent you a picture of my studio. If you look at that curio cabinet to the right, it's just filled with horror memorabilia. So Clayface is directly up my alley. James Watkins is the guy who's directing it, which the most recent film he did was The Speak No Evil with James McAvoy, which I thought was fantastic. But most important, this is the most important part. That pen and paper is not going to be in James Gunn's hand. He's not writing anything. Instead, Mike Flanagan is writing it. If you don't know about him, he's the guy that did Midnight Mass. He did Haunting of Hill House on Netflix, Haunting of Bly Manor. This guy is an amazing mind in horror. Just with that alone, a great, competent horror director, excellent writer, a guy that has a star-studded, just ironclad past in the genre. It makes me so excited for this.
I don't think it'll be Elseworlds. I think James Gunn will do a lot to get away from other DC universe stuff and just try to stick with the main canon, probably. I'm guessing.
I'm actually excited for this. It's something that I agree with you, man. I'm right up my alley. Horror stuff is right up my alley. Huge horror fan ever since a kid. This is like right up my alley if it's kind of going to go that horror-ish route of any kind. And it's something that I've just wanted for a long time, whether it be from Marvel from DC, that is how I want something different like this, like Clayface. Don't, like you said, though, we don't exactly know what it's going to be. It's doubtful that it's going to be like something like the animated series, big giant, or like the games, right? Big giant Clayface. Like, I don't think it's going to be that. I think it might be more grounded in reality. But whether it's that or grounded in reality, something that I want from superhero movies, comic book movies, is something different. I was rewatching Werewolf by Night, right? Like the monsters, the supernatural, seeing Man-Thing. I want more of that, not only in the MCU, but the DCU too. And I want to see like them shed some light on things that we haven't really seen before, bringing back, I guess, like Constantine for one as well, because I want to see Constantine,
Yes.
Zatanna, Deadman, Swamp Thing. I want to see Justice League Dark and all of that stuff. Like even give me some Solomon Grundy. That would be really cool to see. I guess for me, like I said, I just want something different. And I guess that kind of tends to lean more towards the supernatural aspect of things. But for James Gunn, whether he's writing, whether he's directing, or whether he's just producing, or just or just like the head of, you know, the studio in general, I think something that James tends to do, I said it earlier, is kind of focus on obscure characters or groups of characters that are lesser known and kind of make them household names or better known. But even with something like Batman, I dig the fact that what we seemingly that is coming from it, this Batman already exists. The Bat family already exists. I like that. And give me that. Give me dark, brooding, moody, Gotham, family turmoil, villainous villains, and all of that stuff, because we're going to have Superman with the more bright and the colorful and all of that. We're having Green Lantern with the, you know, the lanterns. Flesh that out. Give me that. Give me like something supernatural. Let's take it to an area within film that we haven't before, and then bringing it back and wrapping it up. That's kind of why I'm excited about Clayface as well, because it's something that we haven't really seen. For me personally, with everything that I just said, that is exactly what I want moving forward from superhero films, things that we haven't seen. Absolutely.
And that's one of the big appeals to Marvel in the early days, and even going into more modern times, I guess you could say. Before the MCU, and I'm an MCU cuck. And I'm gonna figure it out. But so in the early days, you know, before the MCU, it was just superhero movies. That's what they were. That's the genre. But then the MCU started doing something interesting. They started Ant-Man as a heist film, but it's also a superhero film. And then you had movies like The Winter Soldier, which was a 70s like political thriller, but also a comic book movie. So it's always great to see diversity and to see this, because that's the only way that superhero movies are going to continue to evolve by, you know, being different, like you said. Yeah. December 18th. 2026, the movie that a lot of us have been really interested and intrigued to see how it's going to be, how it's going to perform at the box office, which I've had debates with other people about that. I personally think that there's no chance in hell that this film does not make minimum $1 billion at the box office.
Ooh, okay.
I have some friends that have been on this show several times that think that it's not going to. And I understand that the climate has changed after the pandemic. Movies just aren't making what they used to make 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But with the Avengers, just that name, it's going to bring in the butts to the seats at the box office.
And are we talking Doomsday?
Yes, this is Avengers Doomsday. Here's a caveat too. You know, I think that this trailer that's coming soon in the next couple weeks. Yeah, it's coming in December. It's going to be the new Avatar film. It's got to really kill it. It's got to really pique people's interest, show them this evil Tony Stark or Victor Von Doom, whoever Robert Downey Jr. is playing in the film. It's really got to be intriguing. I am super excited about this film. I could not be. This is probably the most excited I've been for a comic book movie in years, probably since Spider-Man No Way Home. And it could go downhill too. I mean, you know, it depends on what they're going to do with a lot of these new characters like Shang Chi, you know, because we know he's going to be in the movie. I think M'Baku's going to be back. So it's definitely an interesting cast of characters. We know the Fox X-Men are coming back for this film. There's a lot of intrigue for me around this. And it's one of those movies that it reminds me of the olden times of comic book movies, going into films not knowing what to expect or what to think. That's how it was back in the early 2000s for us OG comic book movie nerds. But anyway, that's enough for me. What do you guys think?
I'll give you a warning. Get ready to censor. 3, 2, 1. I don't give a about Doomsday.
Oh no!
I don't care. I have been burnt more times than Freddy Krueger by Disney over the last couple of years. And I'm not going to walk in and hate it. I don't think. I mean, there is enough to be excited about. I'm just not. because I have been burnt way too much, and I'm not going to walk in with any expectations. The only thing, I guess, if you were to ask me who I'm excited for, obviously Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen reprising their roles, even though I think it's going to be nostalgia bait. I love both of those gentlemen. I guess I'm excited to see them don their superhero garb again. But other than that, I just don't. And that's not just me being a hater. I just don't care.
Are you excited for the X-Men? Are you an X-Men fan?
I'm a Magneto fan. Let's put it that way. Yeah. As far as my comic book affinity, I'm DC through and through.
Gotcha.
But characters like Magneto, I love Blade, which don't even get me started on Disney and Blade.
I'm with you.
Yeah, but there's certain characters I like out of the MCU, but no, I'm mostly on the DC side of things. I don't hate. I just identify more with DC style.
I think that us fans are kind of like a battered wife at this point with Marvel and DC. They are. Yeah. I mean, every time they're about to release a movie, they're pulling their hand back like that.
Yeah. You burn the meatloaf.
There used to be a time, and it's also like that with the political stuff too. I hate to say that, but it is. Like we're expecting it. Like, oh, don't do it again. Please don't hit me again, Marvel or DC. I totally understand the fan base that feels that way. I'm just a probably overly optimistic guy. They could release 7-8 stinkers in a row, and I would still be coming to the theater for the ninth film.
You're part of the problem.
I love comic book movies to a fault.
I'm more with Toller on this than you, Jonathan. I'm sorry. I think it's going to be a bit of nostalgia bait. I mean, probably a lot of it. Even if it's a fine film, I don't know if it's going to save the MCU at this point. They need to do a hard reset. I think it's become such a mess with all this alternate dimension stuff. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. They lost most of the audience, I think, at this point. Have a nice send-off for the universe. Kill off Shang Chi, the Eternals. Kill off, Captain Marvel. Have a hard reset. Let's just say we start from ground one. Wait a couple of years and then, recast everybody. Start with a fresh face to the whole franchise is what I think they should do.
It would be great to see the rebooted Rogue kill Carol Danvers in this universe. That would be
Is that like a personal attack or something?
When I was in Endgame, everyone cheered and clapped when she got punched. I was like insane how everyone was just like, yes! I've never seen a crowd react to a hero getting knocked down before by Thanos.
That's funny. I'm in the middle. I kind of agree with all points here that have been said for Doomsday. I don't think it's going to break $1 billion. I think it'll do very well just because of the star power that's there as well. Toller said something earlier about I don't remember exactly how you worded it, but basically you said something about superhero fatigue, basically. You said something about...
We're just burnt out.
Yeah, it's not as popular as it was. If Doomsday came out a couple years ago, oh man, it would definitely, break the bank beyond belief. But I don't know if we're there anymore. I really don't think we're there. I could be wrong, but I don't know if we're there anymore. I think we are very burnt out. Aside from the negatives about it, the positives are, I'm with you, Jonathan, too. I'm really excited about it. I'm stoked. I'm more of a Marvel fan than I was a DC fan. I grew up more on Marvel for sure. Didn't get into DC till a little bit later. X-Men is my top of the top for me. Then Spider-Man and stuff. So I'm excited for those things. A lot of different pros, a lot of different cons, but I'm kind of riding the middle. I'm in the middle between all of everything that was said here.
I feel like you popped your bubble a little bit, Jonathan.
Like I said, a lot of guys that have been on this show before don't agree with me about the 1 billion, but that was something that I was so confident in, and I'm still confident about it. We made a bet that we're going to do a live stream. The loser gets a pie to the face live.
What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
Let me in on that action.
You guys are welcome to join.
I want to ask everybody in here what they feel about, since we're talking about Doomsday, what they feel about RDJ being Doom.
Sure. Yeah, one more. Stupid.
Thank you. Am I the only one? Yeah, okay.
Stupid.
I think it's nostalgia bait. It's just that they realize they've really screwed up here.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we need to bring back everybody who once made this series great. We're going to bring back the X-Men again. Yeah. We're going to bring back RDJ and, Hugh Jackman's here, guys. Like, look, everyone, hey, look, it's great. Remember how good it used to be?
I don't think that it's just about that. I think that as long as they can do what they did, like we said earlier with Spider-Man No Way Home, and create a really intriguing narrative story with the new characters, but also bringing back these old characters and having them serve a purpose. But there's a lot of what ifs in there for how it's going to go, honestly. But as far as RDJ as Doom, I hated the idea when it first came about.
Yeah,
we talked about that here on the channel. But over time, it's something that has softened on my conscience a lot since we're still in the multiverse saga, which a lot of people hate and I like. I'm a sucker for those sort of things, like bring it back to Fox X-Men one more time.
Yeah.
As long as they reboot, like we said earlier too, all this stuff after Secret Wars, I say go nuts. I say bring back Lou Ferrigno one last time.
Dude, that would kind of be, I'm not gonna lie, I know that's like pure nostalgia bait, but I kind of would like to see that just like as a little cameo thing.
Yes.
Just something, even if it's just kind of flashed on screen, it would just satisfy that nerd in me for like a split second.
Yeah.
I think so. I was rewatching Stranger Things season 4 recently, and it kind of reminded me what's going on in Marvel, where it's, they've hit a dead end. The show has gotten away from its former self. And so to bring back the fans, they're just going to try and copy and paste the cover of Stranger Things season 1 onto 4 and be like, hey, remember when Eleven had short hair? Remember when she was like in the tank and stuff? Hey, remember when Hopper was a bit more gritty and like rounded and not like a, whatever. Yeah. We're going to make it more horror based, like how it used to be, and all this stuff that made season 1 so good. They're going to do it again, but it's going to be a really bad imitation of it. It's not going to be how it it's not going to be what it once was. It's going to be just a reference, really. Nothing more than that.
2027, July the 9th, Man of Tomorrow, which is really interesting, something I didn't even think about until yesterday, but we have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow in 2026.
Yeah.
And then in 2027, we have just Man of Tomorrow, which is supposed to be a film where Lex and Superman possibly team up to fight a greater threat.
Brainiac.
Potentially Brainiac. It's not confirmed, but we've gotten a lot of hints that it is going to be Brainiac. I think that alone is exciting, that we're going to see Brainiac for the first time ever in live action film. I think he was in a show once before, right, Chazzy?
I think so. Yeah, I believe he was.
One of those Arrowverse.
Yeah,
CW.
I think he was. I believe he was in that. Yeah.
And I know he's been in a lot of video games, but just seeing Brainiac, to me, that's intriguing. Even though, he's not Nuclear Man from Superman 4, which would be even more intriguing. But that's another debate for another time.
I'm excited to see Brainiac for sure. That's something that I want. Like I said earlier in my long rant, like I just want different things. I want things that haven't been done before. Just speaking of Superman as a whole, though, I gave this movie, I can't remember. I think I gave it like a 6 or a 7. Not a bad movie, of course. I mean, 6 or 7 is, it's above 5, so it's above average, but it wasn't my favorite by any means. There's things that I really liked about it, and then there was other things that I was like, whatever about. I didn't like Lex Luthor. I didn't like Nicholas Holt's version of it. That's just me. So that didn't speak to me. So I'm not really excited about him and Superman teaming up. That does nothing for me, but I am very much so excited to see Brainiac. So that's where I'll leave it for me.
Do you prefer Jesse Eisenberg's like Jolly
No,
Rancher
God,
version?
no. That's it's cherry. As big of a Snyderverse fan as I actually am, I hated that, dude. I hated Jesse as like, that was horrible.
As far as my excitement, I mean, I'm hung up. I'm not a Snyderverse guy, like Chazzy was just talking about, but I am very much a Henry Cavill guy. And David Corn Sweat, I'm not a hater or anything. I think he did a fine job.
Yeah, I agree.
But to me, in my lifetime, like I'm 35, in my lifetime, I've seen a better version of Superman, and we just had it very recently. And so I'm still kind of like salty about that in a way. Not that Snyder's in charge. I don't give a crap about Snyder. I care about how they handled Henry Cavill, how they screwed him over, and how he worked really hard towards that character, and then just to be replaced. I think any comic book fan would be kind of pissed off over how an actor, especially one that was really dedicated to being that character, how he was treated.
I don't think that there will ever be someone who looks the part more than Henry Cavill.
I gotta agree. Yeah.
The
Don't
greatest.
Get me started on The Witcher.
Look, oh my God, same thing there too. Like they screwed him on there too.
God.
To be fair though, he wouldn't shave his mustache.
Yeah, contractually, he couldn't save it for Mission Impossible. He had.
I got to back him up. Yeah, he was contractually obliged to keep it. Yeah.
I don't want to be too negative. I'm trying to be positive for you here, Jonathan. But I'll be honest, I'm not overly excited. You just brought me on here to crab on everything.
That's right.
I'm very hesitant to be excited for any upcoming DC stuff, especially after Peacemaker season 2. I don't know if I trust James Gunn with the reins of the entire universe on his own, with like everything going the way he wants it to go. It could be pretty risky, I guess. I mean, like if he trusts the right people with these characters, then fine. But I just don't really think he's the man for the job. You know, he's good at specific things.
I think
But
that
controlling an entire
he's a little
universe.
too involved. You know, he's trying to direct and write everything. He needs to take a step back and be more like Kevin Feige and just let these other creatives do their thing.
Yeah, I agree.
He's involved with a lot of stuff.
Well, that's why I was excited about Clayface, because he's producing that, and he gave the pen and paper to Mike Flanagan and gave the camera to James Watkins. So I'm like, I'm down for that.
You know, something that I didn't like that he said recently that I saw is that he said that everything with Batman has been done, so he doesn't know what to do. That couldn't be further from the truth. There's a lot of things you could still do with Batman. That just kind of made me feel like he just doesn't understand Batman.
I mean, there's so many villains that he has that haven't really been seen. I mean, like, well, to be fair, we had Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy, but like, we could do that one again. We could do Hush. That'd be a really good one to do.
I believe Matt Reeves is supposedly doing Hush. I thought it was going to be Mr. Freeze, but it's rumored to be Hush.
If we do Mr. Freeze again, I swear it has to be Arnold, and I need all the one-liners back. I need every one of those one-liners back.
I'm not a fan typically of race swapping just for the sake of race swapping.
Yeah, same.
But I heard this online a few weeks back, and I can't stop thinking about it. It would be perfect. Juan Carlo Esposito as Mr. Freeze.
You know what? I'm not opposed to it. I agree with you. I'm not. I think there's probably some maybe some better choices, but he's not a bad choice just because he's such a phenomenal actor. That's why I'm going to go ahead and agree. But I don't know if he'd be my first choice, but I wouldn't disagree if he's on the list at least.
Because at least for me, when he was Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, he was so intimidating. And I just that voice is mostly, you know, in his presence. And he does pretty good on The Boys too. So I think that he would be great in that role.
You mentioned The Boys. I have to do an exorcism in my room now.
Generation, real quick. Are you more of a DC fan or a Marvel fan?
I grew up reading Marvel comic books. I'm not really I'm a DC movie fan, I guess. You know, like I've read some Batman stuff, but I was mostly Marvel. And actually, I don't know if I'll get crucified for saying this, but I really liked Ultimate Marvel comics. Specifically, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I had a lot of Spider-Man comics growing up and stuff.
I just have one question for you all. Are you guys wearing hockey pads?
Oh my God. I hate that line, dude.
Because October the 1st, we're all going to be wearing hockey pads to the theater when Robert Pattinson's Batman 2 finally comes out. Robert Pattinson is definitely not my favorite Bruce Wayne or Batman. The movie, when it first came out, the first Batman, I enjoyed it, but then upon rewatching it, first of all, I realized that the movie's 3+ hours and it's slow. And not only that, even when I saw it the first time, Bruce Wayne should not be so emo. There needs to be a little bit of a dichotomy there between the two, Bruce Wayne and Batman. To me, it just felt like Twilight Boy being Twilight Boy. I wasn't huge on it.
I actually had a very similar experience. I went to watch it and I walked away kind of feeling like there's something missing. And then I complained to my girlfriend about it for half an hour. I watched it the next day. I went back to see it, had a special cigarette before going inside. And it gave me a whole new perspective on the film.
I like the wording on that.
Yeah, it just really drags. I thought the pacing was really off, like especially because they keep going back to the Riddler's apartment, then they leave, and then they come back, and it just keeps going back and forth. And the Riddler's plan didn't really make any sense. And the big reveal that the bad guy was the bad guy the entire time was pretty underwhelming. But I really liked Gotham. I think that was the best Gotham we got so far.
Yeah, there was some things to like about the movie, but overall it was just so dark. It was almost like they were trying to outdark Christopher Nolan. And in a lot of ways they did.
I'm going to add some context to the statement I'm getting ready to say. And for those that disagree and want to fight me on it, I'll give you my address. We go out back at the Taco Bell and just have it out. I didn't like the way that he was written. And I definitely didn't like the fat, over-bloated suntan version that got brought in to do reshoots. When you think about Batman, Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman. Kevin Conroy is my Batman, the voice of, but as far as on-screen adaptation, Ben Affleck is my favorite because he looked like he was ripped right out of a Frank Miller comic book. I mean, he was his style, the way that he looked, the way that he acted, how violent he was. The dialogue did him no favors. Right. Why did you say that night? So stupid. Please, for the love of God. So seeing Ben Affleck and seeing that huge, just muscular version of Batman that's just pissed off and just doesn't care anymore. And then to go to like this weird, like emo something's in. No, I didn't. I like the angle. I like how he was a detective. It was almost like Detective Vision in the Arkham games. I really liked how they did that. But as far as Pattinson himself, I just no, I didn't like that style, not in the slightest.
I pretty much second almost everything that Toller just said. The only differences that I have here with everybody is that I liked Pattinson's Batman. I liked the movie. There's some cons that I have with it, of course, but I mean, overall, I guess I'm the only one here that enjoyed it the most.
No, I like the movie too. Overall, I would say
I like the movie. Yeah,
it's a solid film.
Yeah.
But do I like him as Batman? No.
Like I said, I agree with Toller. Like Batfleck is my Batman. That's my top choice. But I think what drew me into Matt Reeves' Batman is kind of what was been said here, like Gotham, certain tones and the way that they shot it. And I kind of like a little bit more grounded in reality version. The way that they portrayed the Riddler made me think like, man, okay, you could do like Black Mask in this universe and it would fit. Like the Penguin, it fits. If you do Freeze right, I think there's a way that it could be done. Hush really works well here. Even
Clayface.
Clayface. It could be done here. Even Bat Family members like Red Hood fits perfectly in this universe. Even Nightwing, you can make it make sense. Like there's a lot of things that work in this universe, and I think that's what drew me to this Batverse more than like Robert Pattinson himself as Batman.
There's a lot of pros about it, and like you said, Penguin, Colin Farrell as Penguin. Give me more. And the Riddler, I love that interpretation of the Riddler. It was very grounded, real world, but also a little scary.
I think there's a lot of good ideas in there. I liked the Alfred. I thought it was cool how he was a bit more militaristic.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis did a good job.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons is really good. I really liked his Alfred as well. He's got the voice. I didn't love how he's just bulletproof though. Like he's just walking around taking like assault rifle shots to the chest at point blank, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine with that." Like Batman, he's not invincible. He can't just walk up to people and take gunshots to the chest and be fine. He's supposed to be wounded. He's supposed to be human. So I thought that was a little over the top. It kind of takes away from the stealth aspect as well. What's the point of sneaking around if you just get shot? It's fine.
Well, I mean, even Affleck's version in the warehouse scene, he gets a gun pointed at his head, point blank, and he takes damage to the point it pisses him off, and he actually kills or he stabs the guy later. So
that's a debate amongst the fandom about Ben Affleck's Batman that he killed. People are so upset that he was a killer. Well, I always point back to Michael Keaton.
Same. Yeah.
They were Christopher Nolan ruined us.
Well, I thought it was cool how he we're getting a later version of Batman where he's had enough of Gotham, and it's and there's actually a lot of signs that he has just started killing. Like that's not something he's been doing for a while. I looked at like a video where it's like it breaks down the guns on his Batmobile. They're like recent additions. They're not like things that have been there for a while. There's lots of little good details about his character throughout the film, and it really does a good job of building him up to be a bit darker than we're used to.
Robin's suit and his death, which is the death of the family. We see that, so that could be an indicator as to why he's so pissed off and just doesn't care anymore.
The only thing I didn't like about that, though, is Snyder said that it was Nightwing, not Jason Todd. It was Dick Grayson was the Robin that died. Should have been Jason Todd.
Let me think what I want to in my own head. Okay.
December 17th, 2027, Avengers Secret Wars. Now, this is the film that was, I feel like, made for me. I love these crazy cameos as long as they make sense and have a purpose. I'm very, very excited about Doomsday, but as excited as I am about Doomsday, I'm even more excited about Secret Wars because I know it's going to be the grand finale of everything. Everything that we love is going to be wrapped up in this film. I think that this is probably going to be a 3-hour movie, maybe. I mean, minimum 2.5.
It's got to be.
Probably going to have every single comic book character that you've ever seen on the screen in the film. Yes, I am super, super excited about this movie.
You already have a clip of me from Doomsday. I'll talk about Doomsday. You can just take that same clip and put it in here for this one. Except do it double. I'll give you a warning. Get ready to censor. 3, 2, 1. I don't give a about Doomsday.
Oh no!
I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to be dick or anything. Again, I have my reasons. I'm going to go see it. I'm not going to walk in trying to hate it. But like I said before, I've been burnt more times than Freddy Krueger by Disney recently, so I am not trying to get excited.
I'm interested. I don't know if I have enough detailed conversation because I need to see what happens in Doomsday. People need to be unalived and not Thanos snapped and come back in the next movie gone. There needs to be hardcore repercussions, like
stakes.
Yes, everything needs to just be like, oh my God, in Doomsday, right? Leading up to everything else for the rest of the movies, which then leads up to Secret Wars. Like, I mean, people need to be gone and never coming back. I want that. I want something absolutely mind-blowing. I don't want Disney princesses. I want absolutely mind-blowing unalivings. You know what I mean?
Going Bobby Schmurder on them.
Yes. You know what I mean? Yes.
I don't care. Kill them all.
And I want Spider-Man to be a centerpiece of this.
You just trying to get offended on your side. That's all you're trying to do right now.
That got me a little bit. You almost got me there.
I do. I want Spider-Man to be a very integral part of this. For right now, I want Spider-Man to kind of be street level. I want to see that moving forward. But going into Secret Wars and everything, I want Spider-Man to be, what's the thing in Deadpool that we got? They are the centerpiece of their universe. What's it called again?
Anchor beings.
The anchor beings. Like, we got to figure out who's the anchor being of our MCU. I've seen a lot of people saying, like, what if it ends up being Spider-Man? A lot of people are like, oh, it's Cap and Cap's coming back and it's this or it's Iron Man. But you know what I mean? What if it ends up being Spidey and Spidey is like the center moving force of this movie, which is kind of semi-accurate with some of the comics and everything for Secret Wars. But like, what if he is like the guy in this movie?
Now that you brought that up and now that you mentioned Cap, I think personally I would prefer it be Cap.
You think so?
But can we talk about for a second that the anchor being thing doesn't make any sense? Like
yeah,
you're telling me that
I agree. Yeah.
the billions of trillions of years the universe has been forming around one guy that's supposed to live an average of 80 years, and then he dies, and then the universe dies.
It's Deadpool. It's not supposed to make sense. Okay.
Has that ever been a thing in the comics? Anchor beings of any kind, whether it's the exact thing, has that ever been a thing? Because I
think they just made it up for Deadpool.
Yeah, not by that title at least.
I rewatched Deadpool versus is it Deadpool and Wolverine? I watched that movie again. Yeah. And the more you watch it, and it is funny, I know they're just trying to be a comedy. They're not trying to pay any attention to really what's going on. But the mess they made with the multiverse thing in that film alone is just mind-boggling once you start to take it apart and think about it. Logan is supposed to be its own universe, but then it ends up being in Deadpool's universe. So it's like, which one is Logan a part of? And is that separate from the main canon? Anyway, it gets
I haven't drank anything. Don't start this. Okay.
Going back to the Avengers film. Yeah, I don't know if they can live up to the hype. You know, they're promising so many characters being in it. You know, they're going to have to really work on how they bring them into the story, like you were saying, Jonathan, where they have to matter. You have all these interactions and payoffs that you're going to have to fulfill. And I mean, how many versions of the X-Men are even coming back? I imagine like they're going to do all of them, right? They're probably going to bring in Fassbender, McAvoy, and McKellen and Stewart.
No, hang on. Sir Patrick Stewart has said that Doomsday, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a headline that Doomsday is the last the last part he is ever going to do ever. So do not assume he's going to be in Secret Wars.
Not even just X-Men.
Everything.
He's done acting as a whole. He's retiring. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't expect him to be in Secret Wars.
Aren't they filming both of these movies back to back, or is that just?
I don't know, man. I'm just.
Well, Stewart's got to come back for Scrooge too, right?
I did hear that Michael Jackson will also be returning for Secret Wars as well.
As Spider-Man, because didn't he want to be Spider-Man in like the 90s or something like that? Early 2000s, right?
Wild.
That would be great. That would be better than Nick Cage Superman. These are the TBDs because we don't have a release date for these movies yet, and it's very fitting that we start off with Blade. By the way, was announced in 2019 at Comic-Con. I don't know what year it is right now, but that was what they call a long time ago.
Wesley Snipes said it. There's only going to ever be one Blade. And I swear to God, look, let me go on record here. We've heard all the rumors about how a Blade script was supposed to be female-centric. Okay? And let me go ahead and say this. If that's what happens, Disney, if a man, Jonathan here, gets huge and you end up seeing this video, just know that I'm going to come to every one of the executives' house and I'm going to crap in the most weird places in your home that will have you confused for the next 10 years.
How difficult is it to write a Blade script? I got to be honest. How difficult? The source material is there and it's been there for decades. How difficult can it actually truly be?
And I'm open. I always mess up his name. Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali. Yeah. I'm open. He's a great actor. I remember watching him in House of Cards when he was playing Remy Denton. He was fantastic. But modern Disney trying to do an R-rated, it has to be R-rated.
It has to be.
We said the same thing about Predator, but here we are.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I just do not. I think they're going to screw it up.
I don't know. I mean, were you happy with the R rating for Deadpool?
Let's just put it this way. Disney and the Deadpool film, they had next to nothing to do with it. That was all Ryan Reynolds. All the creative decisions, I assure you, most of the writing was either him or his friends. Disney had next to nothing to do
But
with
it's
it.
got to go through Feige at the end of the day.
Feige's the check mark. And at the end of the day, I think that they are going to hire somebody that's capable. That's one good thing that I'll give Feige credit for. He's really good at finding creatives, even though in the past couple of years that hasn't been what it was before. But I think that they are on the turnaround, Toller and everyone here. Even though I don't think it should have taken as long as it did to rewrite another script. I mean, we've had 6 years already, but if that's what they did, if they were like, you know what, guys, this is, I mean, I know that we like doing woke-ish, but this is really out there. We're going to make the movie not about Blade, but about these 3 other female protagonists.
I will hurt somebody.
That's a horrible choice.
It's a little much, you know. Hey, I'm all for bringing in additional female characters, whatever, but
well, Jessica Biel in Blade 3, as crappy as that film was, Jessica Biel's character, like she works. She works.
The difference between Deadpool getting an R rating and Blade getting an R rating is that, you know, Deadpool is proven to be a profitable franchise, right? Like they had success after success. And it's been a while since a Blade movie came out. The third film that came out didn't do very well. So trust that they had in Deadpool versus what they probably don't have with Blade.
On the DC side, Batman, the Brave and the Bold. It's crazy to me that this film doesn't have a official release date yet. There's been supposedly Andy Muschietti is directing this, the same director of It.
I don't know how I feel about that.
And the same director that gave us the Flash movie, which, hey, you guys can make fun of me all you want, but I still like that Flash movie. The special.
I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
Let's go down to the bar. I'll meet you there.
Hey, the special effects in that movie are terrible. You'll get no argument from me there. But narratively and the way the movie was done, I thought was really well done. And I even enjoyed seeing Nick Cage as Superman. So
jokes aside, if I may interject just very quickly on the Flash thing, there's a lot of things I did hate about that movie, but I also at the same time feel like it wasn't as bad as like the internet was making it. Because when I had these expectations of like, oh my God, this is going to be like the worst movie of all time. And then I watched it and I was like, okay, I mean, it's kind of bad, but it's not the worst movie of all time. I don't know, you know, but
who's that?
I liked aspects of it. It wasn't like a good movie in my opinion.
The action set pieces alone, like the Supergirl fight on the rooftop with Michael when they went to Russia. There was a lot of really cool action.
There are things about it that I liked,
And Ben Affleck getting dropped out of the freaking helicopter or whatever it was on the motorbike. There was a lot of, to me.
But his soda can suit, what the hell was that? You know,
What was
that? What was that? I don't know.
Well, you know, talking about films that are coming up, I'm really disappointed to hear that there isn't going to be a Madam Web 2.
Oh, shut up.
God, the content. The content.
Oh my God.
I actually love that film. I'll sit here and defend it to the day I die.
Are you being serious right now?
I love that film.
There's
so
no
good.
way that you're being serious.
No,
you can't see your face. So
Hold up. Let him cook. If you say, I love Madam Web because Sydney Sweeney wears tight clothing in it, then you get a pass. But if those words don't come out of your mouth, we're about to have a problem.
I never even saw it, man. I saw clips and I immediately knew I don't need to go into this.
I've reviewed movies on this channel for 4 years, and I never thought there would be a modern 0 or 0.5 rating that I would hand out.
Oh my God.
Madam Web got one of those.
Hold on, before you go too far down the rabbit hole here. So first of all, it's hard to make a good movie. It's easy to make a bad movie, but it's almost impossible to make a movie that's so bad it's good. And that's Madam Web.
I was about to say, who are we talking to, Chris?
It's so good. I love watching it. I think I laughed through the entire thing. The bad dubbing.
That's
okay. So good, so bad, it's good. I get where you're
coming from. No, it's like honestly, crack open a beer or whatever special cigarette and sit down and watch with your friends. It is one of the best things you could do with your evening.
To bring it back to what Jonathan was saying, though, the brave and the bold, I'm super stoked about that. I have concerns. Some of the things that, like we said earlier, that James has been saying about it makes me feel that he doesn't quite understand Batman. I'm really interested in seeing it because, once again, What I said earlier is something different. And we're getting a Batman that is already established, and that's been proven to be pretty cool and successful with what Snyder did with this older Batman that we got with Batfleck. So I'm curious to see that. He already has a kid. He already has a Robin. That's got to mean that the rest of the Batverse exists, which James confirmed that there will be other Bat family members. I mean, does that mean Nightwing? Who does that mean? Does that mean Red Hood? Does that mean Tim Drake? We got Red Robin in this, one that often gets left out. What does this mean? I'm curious to see this. Finally, a Bat family in a DC universe. I'm really stoked to see that.
As the resident Batman enthusiast, I think it's funny that James Gunn says there's not any more Batman stories we can tell, but also we're doing Batman Brave and the Bold. Okay,
yeah,
make up your mind. But the thing about Brave and the Bold is that is the second iteration of Robin, which is going to be Damian Wayne. So what happened to Dick Grayson? We haven't had Dick Grayson appear in this universe yet.
It's
so
technically the fourth version, because you've got Dick,
yes,
then you've got Jason, then you got Tim, and then you've got Damian.
Maybe Dick will already be Nightwing in this.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, but I feel like we're jumping. We're jumping quite a bit. Like we don't even have our first Robin yet. We're already going to the fourth. Like
I don't think they're going to have all of the Robins. I think Dick Grayson Nightwing is a guarantee. I think Red Hood has got to be, but I think Tim Drake will be the one that gets left out.
Appreciate the correction there too. I got a little.
Yeah. I don't think we'll have a Red Robin.
It's the medication. This cold's killing me. I think we're jumping a little too far. I don't want the DCU to fall victim to what the MCU did and trying to do too much stuff too quickly. Do like the early MCU did. Take your time, build instead of jumping timelines and stuff like that. So, but I mean, I'm up for it. Brave and bold.
I think it'd be cool to have the dynamic of an already established Nightwing where he's trying to break away from Batman, and they show there a bit more of clash between the two. Like he's trying to prove that he's not like Batman, man, I'm my own thing. And like the entire time he's raising his own new Robin or something. They got to go team up to fight.
Oh, it's actually see Bloodhaven.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
Sick.
As far as the Brave and the Bold goes, it's going to be interesting to see. That Bat family dynamic, like you talked about, is something we've never seen on the big screen. Really, like in any movie, maybe some of the shows, a few of the shows, we got to see a little bit of Robin and Titans, which didn't age that well. I tried to go back and watch that recently.
Yeah.
A lot of it hinges on who they cast as Batman and how dark this movie actually is. Will it separate itself from the James Gunn-ness of everything else? And it needs to do that. It really, really needs to separate itself in tone and everything else. But does it need to go as dark as Robert Pattinson? No.
Do you want James Gunn's Batverse to be kind of more fantastical or more grounded in reality?
Fantastical for me.
To me, the actor is important, and I am a big fan. I'll do whatever campaigning I need to. Alex Richardson for Batman. So whatever. I think you could probably go a little more fantastical with him, just a little bit. You still need to keep the dark element that's in every single Batman comic outside of Adam West. Yeah.
What about the guy that played Frankenstein in the most recent Frankenstein?
That could be Lordy. Alex Richardson.
That's the one I'll say. I think he's too young. He's too young, that guy.
Alex Richardson. I like how tall he is. He kind of fits the character.
Yeah, he's a big pick for a lot of people. Yeah.
They should just copy the Arkham games, like whatever kind of. I guess that's pretty fantastical, and just do that. just like do that again in the movie. Go comic booky. It doesn't have to be overly fantastical, but like I think they've done enough with the whole where this is real life. Like we got Christopher Nolan, now we've had Matt Reeves Batman. Like try to
don't forget Bat Nipples. We had Bat Nipples.
Bat Nipples. We've done very campy and comedic as well with Batman, and
I love the bat skate scene, man. That's he clicks his heels together and they come out. That's awesome.
Everyone's favorite, based off of the chat we had earlier. This is a movie that we don't know for sure if we're going to get, but there has been a lot of speculation around it. Shang Chi 2. I'll start off and say, once again, here's another unpopular opinion maybe in this group, but I liked Shang Chi.
I'm with you on this one, actually.
My wife is actually Asian, and we went to go see it in the theaters, and it was just, we talk about representation a lot, and I think that when you have representation, when it feels more forced and, let's just take a character. Let's take a character that's already been established and making black or making Muslim or whatever. It is a big deal. Like my wife, she just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I love the action in it. I'm a sucker for Mortal Kombat.
Same.
And so it felt like a very, Kung Fu-esque, which is, that's what Shang-Chi is.
Yeah.
But I love the first film. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I didn't love the finale of the first Shang-Chi movie. That's the only sticking point for me. They're fighting on dragons and everything. I know that we're already at that point in the MCU, but it felt a little too fantastical. Maybe they could have grounded it a tad bit more. Yeah, I liked a lot of the stuff that I saw in Shang-Chi. I like the actor as Shang-Chi, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's the only plus for me. I mean, I think his name is Simu Liu.
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu. He was all right, but I mean, the thing is that it was just Disney-fied. The plot, the character origin was more bland than a Karen's potato salad. The writing itself was muddier than my toilet bowl after a weekend bender. I mean, it's just, jokes aside, it's this really what it was very formulaic. It was very reliant on CGI. The character was weak. So a while ago when I said who, that was meant as a joke, but it's also being serious. Who the hell is Shang-Chi?
You don't think enough was developed, like character development as well? Yeah.
No, he didn't get the proper development. He didn't get the proper origin. I don't think it wasn't very impactful. So by the end of the film, I'm like, I just don't care about this guy.
Where does he fit in with the MCU? Because he's obviously not, more of street level hitting those guys, but he's not like way up here either. Like, where is his story going? I'm curious to see that as well. Like when it comes to what you said, Jonathan, and then like also what you said, Toller, no character development and like didn't speak to you enough. So like, I wonder where are they going with this character as a whole then? Like, where is he fitting in on the spectrum of, when it comes to Doomsday or Secret Wars? Like, where is he at here?
I haven't seen him since the movie, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen him at all. Yeah.
Except for
when did that movie come out?
Man, I don't remember. 2020, 2021?
Yeah,
pandemic. It's not helping the case.
Yeah,
it's not helping the case at all.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I didn't see that film. But
to bring some positive into it, I am with you, Jonathan. Like, I did enjoy that movie. I'm not really a kung fu kind of guy. Like, I'm not really like kung fu movies, martial art movies, aside from like Mortal Kombat stuff that has like fighting in it and everything, obviously. But I'm not like a guy. I'm not like really like ninja movies and stuff like that. It's just not my thing. But this, I actually did enjoy it. And I was curious to see, like I just said, where's his character going though? What's happening?
I've always been a sucker for those types of films, like The Quest with Jean-Claude, Bloodsport.
Right.
Yes.
I love those movies. It kind of felt like that was Marvel's movie that was in that realm,
Yeah.
But we'll see. The Authority. This is what I'm talking about when I say, if you want to give us representation, take from the source material and put it out there. If you want to give us a gay Batman and Superman, do it based off the books, at least, and make it make sense narratively, like give it a purpose. I don't know much about The Authority. Am I excited about it? Am I excited about it? No. I'm going to go see it in theaters and see what it's all about. It's one of those things that we talked about earlier. It's an odd choice to kind of start your universe with a film like an obscure group of characters like The Authority.
Is it still happening though? Didn't he just recently say he's not doing it?
I'm looking on Reddit right now, and they're saying that they're talking about how the cancellation of it was a good thing. So I'm like, Jonathan, what the crap are you talking about?
I think it was literally like a day ago or something, or like 2 days ago. Yeah, that it was just canceled, I believe.
Okay, maybe it's been canceled. I don't know. Like, I knew that it was delayed for sure, but I didn't know if they were still in the process. But James Gunn has came out and said we're not going to develop any film that does not have a developed script yet. So
maybe it got canceled. Yeah, I could have swore I read something like a day or two ago where they said that it's been shelved.
I've never heard of The Authority. Is that a white girl's Instagram bio? What is that?
Sounds like it could be a boy band too, dude. You know what I mean? Like they're trying, a boy band that's trying to be cool. You know what I mean? Like that's what
there's a K-pop band out there right now going, he's got a great idea.
Exactly, right? They're like, hold on, wait a minute, guys, come here.
Rose cooking. Armor Wars. It started off as a Disney Plus show, then it got, now they're saying it's potentially a movie, and we don't really know that much about it. Is Don Cheadle going to be in it? Is Robert Downey Jr. going to come back? I mean, there's a lot of questions surrounding this. Based off the limited information, I would just say that I'm kind of, I guess, somewhere excited about it. I just don't know enough about it. That's the problem.
I was originally excited about it, but now I don't know how I feel.
If they make Ironheart one of the characters, I don't think it's going to do very well.
No, not at all.
And RDJ is 60 right now. Like, he can't be doing this much longer.
No.
Until you're 90.
Yeah. I forgot about Ironheart. I never watched it. It just didn't appeal to me.
You didn't watch it?
No, I didn't watch
Oh
it.
my God, I envy you so much.
I did a review about it on this channel. I'll say that it was really, really bad. The first few episodes were really, really, really bad.
I saw clips, and it
The
didn't
only
appeal.
intriguing thing about the show for me was Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto.
Mephisto,
Yes.
He really killed it in that
Did he?
role.
Okay, yeah.
He
And
did
I
good.
also
Great.
enjoyed the direction they went with her. I won't spoil anything if you want to go back and watch it.
No, I'm
forbid.
not worried. I'm not worried about. I've seen enough clips to piece some things together. Like I knew about Mephisto, and I've seen enough.
The ending for me was a little more intriguing for the character of Ironheart because she kind of went down a questionable path, and it was something unexpected. So, but even that couldn't make the show better than a 4 for me. I mean, it was really, really bad. If it wouldn't have been for that last few episodes with Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto, it would have been like a 0.51. But yeah, I think it got bumped up to like
what's the story reason, if you have a summary for it? What's the story reason that Mephisto is in Ironheart and not like something like WandaVision in the past? Like, why did they choose Ironheart?
He's just making deals, man. Just making deals.
Yeah,
I really think they needed some kind of intriguing character. Because I'm sorry, God, she's more wood than my backyard fence. Horrible as an actress. And so when Sacha Baron Cohen came up, I was like, hey, some charisma. And it worked.
Yeah. I think that he elevated her acting abilities in the scenes that they were together. Because, you're right. She was really bad, especially in the first few episodes. But something about it, maybe just because I had already been exposed to so much crap, she kind of grew on me a little bit, just ever so slightly towards the end of the show. But yeah, I get what you're saying. She's still not as bad as Brie Larson, though.
Good God, what is that? What kind of fight is that? Oh my God.
I'd rather get Mephisto up my butt rather than watch that.
If Armor Wars still happens, which it's obviously going to happen, but I always said I thought it should happen after Doomsday anyway. Ironheart's she's got to be in it. It's Armor Wars, quote unquote. You know what I mean? If that's what's happening, if they're gonna push her moving forward, it's going to happen. And that doesn't make me excited about the show at all. Just have Thanos come back just so he can snap her and then we can get rid of Thanos again. You know what I mean?
If Ironheart's in this film, I'm going to have to go visit my guy and get that little Ziploc bag of Skittles. It's just the only way I'm going to get through it.
I was originally excited about Armor Wars. I thought it was kind of cool. I always thought War Machine should get some more spotlight. You know?
Agreed. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I like Cheeto. I like Cheeto as an actor, but he's also getting pretty old now too.
Yeah.
Everybody is. Like, they can't keep doing this.
I'm getting pretty old, Toller. Swamp Thing. It was rumored that James Mangold was going to direct this project, which is great. That's the same director that gave us Logan. Hey, sign me up. I love the Swamp Thing.
Boom.
Ever since I was a kid, I remember watching those old Swamp Thing movies that, if you go back and try to watch them now, they're terrible. Fun fact, the first Swamp Thing movie was brought to us by Wes Craven.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I love Swamp Thing. Even the show that came out about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whenever it was, it was a pretty darn good show.
It was.
Did you guys ever see that?
Yeah, like when it comes down to Swamp Thing, here's the thing: DC has jerked my around better than any girl I've ever been with when it comes down to Swamp Thing. And I'm like, Swamp Thing, and then Chazzy was talking about Solomon Grundy.
Yes, I want to see that.
You could do so good, like those horror, adjacent characters.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Swamp Thing, I'm not excited because it just keep jerking me around. I want to be excited. I
want to see that. He's one of my favorite characters as well.
Yeah.
I always the design is so intriguing. I just love everything about it, man. And it reminds me of the Injustice games, like him and Poison Ivy together. Like, man, I would love to see that too. Like, I'd love to see that interaction in film or a show, or whatever it ends up being. Is it a film or is it a series? I don't remember. Film? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Swamp Thing to really give any opinion on it. So I'm not going to be negative. I'll watch it if it comes out. I'm intrigued. It sounds like a bit of a divergence from typical comic book stuff. So
yeah.
All you need to know, Generation Offended, is if his penis gets cut off, it grows right back. So
yeah, exactly. He's just like,
it's like if Wolverine and the Creature from the Black Lagoon had a love child.
Yeah.
X-Men, the reboot. We mentioned this briefly earlier. If they were to reboot the X-Men, I think it could be really intriguing. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but I want his last time in that role being in Secret Wars. We need to reboot.
90.
Yeah, no. We need to reboot all of the X-Men. Seeing that footage from the new Wolverine video game that's coming out soon-ish, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Seeing that voice actor, even like seeing him the way he looks, like he might could play Wolverine in live action. I mean, but his voice is such a Wolverine voice. So yes, we need to get Wolverine rebooted and the rest of the X-Men. And maybe the reason we haven't heard anything about this yet is because it's probably going to happen after Secret Wars. And it can kind of launch the new Marvel into the stratosphere. And leading the way with the X-Men, great choice.
I'm down for it. I think obviously the casting for my man Magneto, that's the only character I have a tie to. And Chazzy, since you're the X-Men guy, feel free to fight me on this. I don't know how you feel about it.
I'm holding back right now. I have much that I could say, but I'm trying to formulate and not take up time.
I like Michael Fassbender. He's 48 right now. So if a couple of years down the road, they make this film, he's actually going to be an older version of Magneto. And I think it works out. I think his Germanic past, like the films he's done, specifically Inglourious Bastards, he does have that Germanic side down, which happens to be, part of Magneto's history. I'd love to see Fassbender back. Everybody else don't care. But if they bring back Fassbender in a reboot as an older version, or the version we see pretty much of Magneto when the X-Men first started with the Suri and McKellen, I'd be down for that. Actually, that would be something I would be excited about. Actually,
I say that we don't do that because then we start getting into that James Gunn DCU territory. It's all confusing. Oh, we're bringing back Cholo as Blue Beetle and John Cena as Peacemaker and James Gunn's wife. Like, when does it end? I love Michael Fassbender as Magneto. Don't get me wrong. He is as good as Ian McKellen was. Dare I say he might be better than Ian McKellen. I love Ian McKellen, but we got to reboot completely.
Look, I know this is my first time here, all right, but I just talked positively about a Disney project. And here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to do, Jonathan. In the morning, I'm going to come over. I want you to piss directly in my cereal because that's what you're doing right now, man. Like,
he finally gave you a positive thing, and you're like, listen, Toller, listen.
I agree with everything he said, except for he needs to be brought back.
I see where you're coming from.
We need to be done bringing people back after.
I get it.
That's my mentality on it. As much as I love him as Magneto. Yeah. I agree with everything you said. But
I agree with that, Jonathan. I think they should just do a hard reset. Well, I said that a while ago. They should do that for pretty much everybody, but they should have brought the X-Men in way sooner. Like they've sat on that IP for so long. 100%. And I think the reason they need to do a full rewrite is because probably what the problem they're having is that like it's hard to introduce mutants into a world that's had none, right? Without like it being like, oh, they've come from a universe where they do exist, and then now we're sharing a world or something. It's kind of ludicrous. So maybe just do a hard reset for everybody. Yeah, and bring in a whole new cast of characters to like do a whole new universe like they did with like the Ultimate Comics, where everything's a bit more tight and well written and like connected better than it is right now.
If you reboot everything and start afresh after Secret Wars, you could start your new universe with the X-Men, where you're finding out that these people are mutants. You can go that route still if everything's fresh.
The X-Men conversation could be a whole episode by itself, I think. There's so many questions. There's so many things I have to say. Being a huge X-Men fan, it's like what Generation just said to, like, how do you I think they are struggling with how to write them properly, to be honest with you. How do you introduce mutants into this world? How do you introduce the whole power thing where it's like all these other characters have powers and it's okay, but the whole thing with the mutants is that they have powers and it's not okay because they're different. How do you balance all? It doesn't quite make sense. There's so many different things that don't make sense right now with the MCU and then introducing the X-Men. But then it's like you could have things where they're all of them are from a different universe, and that's why you can kind of just cut that story out and then you don't really have to deal with that. But I think the core thing of the X-Men is like fighting for themselves, fighting for the mutants, like we're all the human too, we're mutants, but you kind of got to tell that story. It's like the struggle between the normal people and the mutants and etc. It's a big part of the X-Men. How are you not going to tell that story going forward? But how do you tell that story in this MCU? It's very, very weird. And then, the whole conversation of bringing the Fox X-Men, then the younger Fox X-Men, but then rebooting. And there's so much to do and so much conversation with the X-Men, but they are my all-time favorite, any comic book characters ever. I'm both really excited and also very concerned. I just don't want Disney to ruin this.
I thought the Ultimate Comics did a really good job of introducing them, the mutants specifically, into their world. Everything really stems from the superhuman serum. Most characters' powers comes back to that situation where they're either trying to remake it or it's somehow like bled into the water system and it's mutated the entire population. But like they don't start until after 1930s or something when mutants start showing up. Yeah, so I think that's a better way to introduce it, where everything's a lot more tighter and you can connect everyone's backstories to the same thing, right? Like I think that would be a good way to move forward. Is we're all intertwined. It's not just a bunch of different characters running around. We all have like shared characters and shared backstories and stuff like that. So I think hard reset, make the mutants new, do a new Captain America, new Iron Man, all of it.
I think the best place to do that actually is with like Doomsday and Secret Wars and the Fox characters and whatnot. They all die. Everybody dies, man.
I thought they were going to do that with the Fantastic Four. I thought they were actually going to lose their planet and then have to retreat to the main timeline.
Yeah.
And that was going to be like a good way to do it. I was like, blow up their planet. Yeah, like that'd be cool.
Because we see them in Thunderbolts. At the end of Thunderbolts, we see Fantastic Four flying in.
That's what they want us to believe. Is that what's happening?
I thought it was like them like escaping. They're like, they had to move to a new timeline. Yeah, but they weren't brave enough to do that, unfortunately.